welcome back. Today I want to continue on some of the tricky questions from FANG. This was asked by Google very recently in Feb 2025. The title of this question is Reviewed Flags of Top Videos. It is not a long solution, but a tricky solution, more around what conditions to apply and the order of applying these conditions. That's the real trick in this question. Before any further insights into how to solve this question, let's get a sense of what this question is and decode step by step, and we can further discuss about what's the best way possible to solve this question. Like always, the key agenda is to focus on the space and time complexity and make the code readable and easy to follow and interpret. Okay, let's dive into this question. For the video or videos that receive the most user flags, how many of these flags were reviewed by YouTube? Output the video ID and the corresponding number of reviewed flags. So we can get one thing out of our way. The final output has two columns, video ID and the number of reviewed flags. There are in total two main conditions we want to apply in the logic. Condition one is most user flags, which is identified by maximum number of flags or a rank function. Rank function would be ideal. And the second condition is how many of these flags were reviewed by YouTube. So we are not really worried about other reviews, but only amongst the ones which are reviewed by YouTube, we want to identify the ones which are most rated by the users. Okay, so let's take a look at the tables here and evaluate how we can solve this question. The table one is user flags. It gives the information about the users, first name, last name, video ID, flag ID. And as you go into the table further, there are scenarios where the last name is empty. Okay, that's table one. Let's go deeper into the second table, which is around if the condition false or true reviewed by YouTube. So this is more about why the video has been flagged and what date has the video been flagged. And there is a judgment around it. So all those flagged videos have been removed or approved in some cases. So if a video is reviewed by YouTube, it is following a logic called reviewed by YouTube is equal to a Boolean function here called true. Okay, some of the edge cases we want to think about is any duplicate reviews. If a customer had flagged a video twice, will that be counted as two flags or just one flag? I think that's a valid question to ask. If there are no duplicates, that is confirmed by the interviewer, we don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, we might have to count the unique cases or unique. If flag ID is unique, we can eliminate such scenarios. If flag ID is not unique, meaning a customer might have rated the same video twice and that has two different flag IDs, then we might want to count both flag IDs. Okay, that's edge case one, duplicates, flag IDs. Edge case two is null values. We already looked at the table. In case there are null values, then we need to disregard. That's the easiest way to go about it. If the interviewer wants you to replace that with a default value or fill up the null values with something else, that's something to keep transparency with the interviewer and move forward. Okay, make some reasonable assumptions. The third edge case we can talk about is definition of user flags, which is kind of critical for this condition and for the logic to go forward. Definition of user flags is count of unique users. Is that a valid definition who flagged the video? And if that is a valid definition, so we're just going to replicate the same in the logic when we apply. Okay, we already talked about the conditions we need to apply, so let's get started. I'm going to use a simple CTE in this scenario. So I'm going to talk about the first CTE here, where I want to identify the rank in this case based on the number of users flagging the video. And I did see in the question about more than one video that could satisfy this condition, having the highest number of reviews or flags. So I'm going to use a dense rank function because there could be more than one video that can be flagged and have the highest number of flags. Okay, so let's get the first condition in place. We do know the final output needs to have video ID and the number of reviews flagged. Okay, so I'm going to just bring the video ID in this context and might want to start giving aliases. Video ID, because we have two different tables, we need to gather the data from both the tables. So we have video ID and dense rank based on the number of flags. Dense rank over, no need of partition because we want to check across all the video IDs. So I'm going to rank based on the count of flag ID. We already established a simple question if flag IDs are unique, and I'm going with that assumption. count over order by count of flag ID, and I think the flag ID is coming from the first table, which is the users flag table. Okay, so and we want to identify the video with the highest rank, so we are using a dense rank and order by count of flag ID and in descending order. Okay, so let's get the tables here. What we need to use in this logic, we have the flag review and the user flags. So the first table is going to be user flags, which is A, and then we are going to get the second one, left join flag review, on A dot flag ID, B dot flag ID, where video ID is not null, which is going to significantly reduce the computational time. Is not null. Okay, and we do want to get the number of times the video is reviewed by YouTube. So count of case when B dot review reviewed by YouTube is equal to true. It's a Boolean function, and then we want to count A dot flag ID else null, and so let's call this as flagged. So we have the count of cases which is reviewed by YouTube, and in this simply get all the required fields here. So we got flagged from the CTE and identify the most flagged videos based on the users who flagged them. Okay, so we're going to simply bring the first CTE here, where dense rank is equal to 1. Okay, so that should take care of all the conditions we need. Complete, and it's solved. Okay, that's all for now, and we'll connect again. This is a fun problem we solved, which was asked by Google very recently.